Today I have with me a mystery custom keyboard. I have no idea how much it costs yet and I won't tell you either. By the end of the video, I will be guessing how much this keyboard costs and you should too. Because I will be giving away this keyboard to the most accurate and fastest guess to the exact cost of this keyboard. Welcome back to another video. Today we will be ordering a mystery custom keyboard. The sponsor of today's video, Fiverr, has actually tasked me to get a random builder to build me a random custom keyboard with no budget. Okay, this guy, Carl Salas. Seems like a really nice down-to-earth kind of guy. 3 5-star reviews, we'll take that. I do prefer going with someone I would say not so highly reviewed. So Carl is from the Philippines and has been in the hobby for a while. Decided to run this gig to help fellow hobbyists get their desired keyboard without getting ripped off. That's pretty nice. So let's go with Carl. His premium package actually costs 57 Singapore dollars. That is a really good price. So in the premium package, we will be provided with a keyboard to the best of our budget, premium mods like clipping of standoffs, more flex, custom plate foam, and all the mods that we are very familiar with. So I drafted a really generic message. So I said, "Hey Carl, I'm looking to get into the custom keyboard hobby and came across your listing. I don't really have any preferences when it comes to sound, but for the aesthetic, I do like Japanese keycap sets and I would prefer a linear switch. I feel like this would give him a lot of freedom to do what he wants and really perform to his premium package kind of thing." So yeah, we're just gonna wait now for the keyboard to arrive. Okay, the mystery keyboard has arrived. But let's just rip into this and take a look at what we got. It's pretty hefty, very good sign. Also, the amount of fragile tape on here is quite crazy. Okay, there's two main boxes. I have saw what the board name is, and the good thing is I have never heard of it. That's the best thing. Okay, take a look. So there's two main boxes in here, I believe. I have a grey, just normal cardboard box inside there, and a LMK81 via Source. Never heard of this keyboard. Okay, so we have the two boxes that were inside. LMK81 Joya, I believe that's the brand with the pause. So there's this piece of tape there that says, "Sorry about this, got damaged through shipping," which is about the box. But he said there's another tape down there that says, "Board is fine though," with a smiley face. Very nice of him. So I'm not gonna spoil myself by opening up the keycaps first. We're gonna get the initial reaction. I really have not taken a look at this at all. Oh, that's nice. I like it. Just based off aesthetic itself, it's a 10 out of 10 from me. Oh, it's hefty. It's really hefty. Jesus. One thing I can say for sure, this isn't below $100. I don't believe it is below $100. I haven't tried the switches, but I believe the keycaps itself plus the keyboard kit, or just the keyboard kit itself, might be more than $150. The keyboard kit itself is pretty hefty. I've never heard of the brand Joya or the board LMK81, but based off the specs I'm seeing here, there's a knob, we have some RGB, oh my god, I didn't even know that was there. Yes, triple mode connection. We have this little slider here. You can slide it off. USB receiver. Okay, and at the back, we actually have a paw kind of engraved into it. Not my favorite design when it comes to a back engraving. I feel like the paw is really overused when it comes to custom keyboards. But we can't really complain if it's a budget board. I believe this leans towards the budget side of aluminum keyboard, but definitely not the cheapest aluminum keyboard you will find. Now it's time to hear how it sounds like. The switches are pretty heavy. Oh, I think the loop stabilizer sound test. This is really good. What? I'm actually blown away. It's amazing. It's a linear switch. It leans towards the deeper side of things, which I believe is a really good play. I didn't really give a preference when it came to audio, but when it came to the aesthetic, I said I prefer Japanese keycaps. I didn't give a color preference, and he went very safe with white and black. Stabilizers and switches, it's a 10 out of 10 from me so far. I did tell him I prefer linear switches. He did go with linear switches. And these linear switches actually feel pretty smooth, but they are a little heavy. I did expect something lighter, to be honest. But let's take a look at what switch is inside. Okay, so the switches we have installed are actually Gateron Milky Yellows. It's been I would say a year since I've actually touched Milky Yellows, and since I've experienced with Gateron Milky Yellows, these are really well lubed, like extremely well lubed. Gateron Milky Yellows were a really popular switch, but these switches were really popular a really long time ago. One of the main reasons it was so popular was because of how cheap it was and how good it sounded after it was lubed. Back then, switches did not sound as good in the stock configuration as it does now. And these switches needs to be lubed if you want an extremely buttery smooth feedback or response when using the switches. So the way these are lubed, I have opened up the switch, I looked at it, it's really evenly lubed. And after removing a few more switches, we do notice a PE foam sheet on top of our PCB. But a little bit different. I think this was custom done by him because PE foam typically don't look like these nowadays, and the holes were actually punctured through the switches. The holes did not exist before the switches went through this foam. For now, we're gonna open it up and see what other mod he has done to this keyboard. Very cool. The moment I took off the top cover, this guy knows what he is doing, alright? Aside from all the foam, which I'm going to show you later on, there is actually a force brake mod being implemented on top of the force brake mod already implemented by the keyboard itself. Aside from that, we actually do have a really neat and really clean and tidy tape mod done up by him. As for our foams provided, he is using the plate foam, the PCB foam, and the case foam. I believe these all came included in the kit because it's so perfectly cut to the kit that I don't think it is custom made. And aside from that, this keyboard is actually, gasket mounted with pour-on gaskets. Not gonna lie, I was gonna pick on the keyboard, but he did a really good job. He really put in the effort. For the build fee that he charged, I felt like he could miss out on certain things. The parts he picked were really good, especially this keyboard kit. But having an aluminum kit is something I would say would be a really good thing to have if you're owning your first keyboard, because the aluminum kit really elevates your experience for when you first enter the custom keyboard hobby. Second thing is the main attention to the specs. The main two things that I always look out for in a keyboard kit: south-facing PCB and screw-in stabilizers. South-facing PCB is something that beginners wouldn't really understand until they have tried it. And the keyboard kit he picked actually meet both of those requirements that I wanted to set. So at the end of the day, the keyboard kit he picked is really good. The way he executed all the building is a solid 10 out of 10 from me. Carl, good job, man. So before we conclude the video, I felt like this is something I should share. I actually ordered this keyboard in the mid of July, 17 July 2023. And I'm currently filming, and I have received the board on the 25th of October 2023. And that is a really long time. But before you guys start dissing Carl, it's not Carl's fault, it's actually DHL. Carl actually got the keyboard done by 29 August, which I think is a really fair timeline, considering he had to buy the parts, wait for them to get shipped to him, build it, and also build other people's keyboards. I believe this is a very good timeline, 1.5 months, very fair. But where it all went downhill was actually when he went to DHL to ship out his keyboard. As I mentioned, Carl is from the Philippines, and in the Philippines, their local currency is pesos. So when Carl was basically filling up their shipping information to get this shipped to me, he did declare this keyboard as 3,500 pesos. But DHL actually mistook it for 3,500 US dollars. And when something of that value enters Singapore, the recipient do have to pay a tax. So about a month ago, DHL actually emailed me and told me I have to pay $450 in tax, which is ain't no way I'm paying for that because I'm broke as f. So the moment DHL contacted me, I prayed to God because I was hoping that Carl would help me with this. So I actually did contact Carl, and Carl thankfully was the most helpful and the most patient person to work with throughout the entire thing. Throughout the entire process of changing the declared value, because it was basically a misunderstanding or miscommunication between DHL and Carl, or maybe just DHL's fault, I have no idea. Carl actually went down to DHL the day itself and went down multiple times after that to try to push them, to let them know that it was a mistake. He even called them, emailed them, and do everything he could in his power. And with me doing the exact same thing, we managed to change the declared value back to 3,500 pesos. So Carl, if you are watching this, I hope you are doing well. I really do appreciate the service you have provided me. So if you guys want a custom keyboard build, I would recommend Carl. And once again, huge shout out to Fiverr for sponsoring this video. Fiverr is a huge marketplace for all kinds of various online services. Definitely check out Carl if you want to get a custom keyboard build. And if you want to save some money using Fiverr, do use my code down below. So we have come to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, do leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you enjoy keyboard content, and do remember to leave your guess for the cost of the keyboard. The two main requirements to join this giveaway is, of course, first of all, be subscribed, and secondly, just try your best to guess the exact amount of the cost of this entire keyboard. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.